There's a quiet revolution sweeping through fields and homesteads worldwide, and you know it's catching even the most seasoned growers off guard. Many smart farmers, people who have spent generations planting row after row of corn, are suddenly replacing those annual crops with trees. Not because they've abandoned food production, but because they've discovered a far more profitable, sustainable, and soil-healing system that is changing everything about the way we grow. And once you understand the benefits, you'll see why trees may be one of the most powerful tools you can add to your own garden right now. Corn is demanding. It drains the soil, relies heavily on fertilizers and constant watering, and honestly, offers only one short harvest window. Year after year, farmers pour energy, money, and labor into keeping corn alive, only to watch the soil beneath it deteriorate. Trees, on the other hand, give back. They stabilize the ground, enrich the soil, retain water, and create long-term productivity in ways annual crops simply cannot. Smart growers have realized that planting the right mix of trees not only boosts soil health, but increases overall yields, even if they continue growing traditional crops beneath or between them. For gardeners, this shift means one simple thing. If you want healthier soil, fewer problems, and long-term resilience in your garden, trees can do what annual crops alone never will. Healthy soil is the foundation of everything we grow, and trees are unmatched soil builders. Their deep roots break through compacted layers that no shovel can reach, pulling minerals upward and creating pathways for oxygen and water. When leaves fall and decompose, they form a natural layer of organic matter that continuously feeds the topsoil. Instead of depleting nutrients the way corn does, trees enrich the earth year after year. Gardeners often struggle with dry, lifeless soil that repels water and cracks in the sun. A single tree can shift that dynamic dramatically. The shade reduces evaporation, the roots hold moisture, the decomposing leaves create rich humus. Over time, the soil becomes darker, softer, and more alive. The kind of soil where vegetables explode in growth without needing constant fertilizer. Corn is, well, a high-input crop. It needs frequent watering, heavy feeding, and a yearly replanting cycle. But trees, they flip this equation. Once established, most productive trees, like nitrogen-fixing species, fruit trees, and fast-growing support trees, require minimal maintenance. They keep giving long after the initial planting effort. Smart farmers have discovered that adding trees to their fields dramatically reduces fertilizer needs. Nitrogen-fixing trees, for example, naturally pull nitrogen from the atmosphere and deposit it into the soil through their roots and fallen leaves. Farmers who plant these trees find that nearby crops grow stronger, greener, and faster, with significantly less fertilizer. The same effect happens in gardens. Planting nitrogen-fixing trees near vegetable beds improves growth, boosts soil nitrogen, and cuts down on chemical inputs. Over several seasons, your garden becomes more self-sustaining, saving you money while increasing productivity. One of the most overlooked benefits of trees is the microclimates they create. Farmers planting trees instead of corn aren't just thinking about soil, they're thinking about temperature, moisture, wind, and sun regulation. A well-placed tree can transform an area from harsh and dry to fertile and protected. Trees reduce wind that strips away moisture from crops. They lower temperatures during extreme heat, giving plants a cooler environment to thrive. They increase humidity under their canopy, preventing soil from drying out. They even moderate frost, often saving crops during cold snaps. In a garden, this microclimate effect is gold. Tomatoes, peppers, greens, herbs, all benefit from a more stable environment. With thoughtful placement, a single tree can turn an underperforming garden bed into a thriving oasis. Corn must be replanted every year. Trees, once established, produce for decades. Farmers are choosing trees because they create long-term wealth, fruit, nuts, biomass, shade, improved soil, and even timber. Instead of spending money every season to coax corn from declining soil, they invest once and reap benefits for generations. For gardeners, the payoff is just as powerful. Fruit trees produce food year after year. Support trees continue to enrich the soil effortlessly. Shade trees protect your growing spaces from heat waves. As they mature, your garden becomes more fertile, more productive, and more resilient. Many gardeners assume trees compete with vegetables, but, smart farmers have shown that the right combination can be extraordinary. planting fast-growing nitrogen-fixing trees near vegetable gardens, pruning them regularly, and using the leaves as mulch creates a cycle of continuous fertility. When chipped or chopped and dropped at the base of your plants, these leaves create a nutrient-rich layer that, honestly, retains moisture and suppresses weeds. If you're using compost teas or liquid feeds, the process becomes even more potent. For example, if you're making a leaf-based fertilizer tea from tree leaves or prunings, soak 2 kilograms of chopped fresh leaves in 20 liters of clean water for 7 to 10 days. Stir daily, then strain and dilute at a ratio of 1 liter of the liquid fertilizer to 5 liters of water before applying to your soil. This delivers a powerful nutrient boost while enhancing microbial activity. This method mirrors what smart farmers achieve on a larger scale. By combining trees with annual crops, they build systems that feed themselves naturally. What farmers are discovering on vast acres applies perfectly to backyard growers. Trees are more than decoration, they are engines of fertility. They heal damaged ground, expand productivity, and create the conditions that vegetables need to thrive. Where corn exhausts the land, trees restore it. Where annual crops struggle through drought and heat, trees create protection. Where soil becomes depleted from constant planting, trees return balance. If you care about long-term garden health, sustainability, lower costs, and higher productivity, planting trees is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Gardeners who embrace tree-based systems aren't just planting, they're investing in a thriving future. Every tree you add builds healthier soil, stabilizes your garden's climate, and creates more abundance with less effort. It's a strategy used by some of the world's most innovative farmers, and it's one that can transform even the smallest garden into a powerhouse of growth. If you want more in-depth practical gardening secrets like this, make sure you subscribe to the Master Gardener channel and share this video with a fellow grower who's ready to take their garden to the next level.